Hello everybody. What we're going to do today is we're going to go through some meshes by Little Fat Bird, and I'm going to show you the creation of my new autumn room that I'm doing just for the fun of it. There's no real profit involved, so I just want to, work from Little Fat Bird's account and create some pretty stuff, and I thought I'd show you a few of the little steps on the way. So here we go. Okay, so we're breaking in here. I kind of like this design, but I think the legs need a little bit more detail. So what I'm going to do is go back in and add a touch of metal to the end. So watch me in Photoshop and I'll go back and do that, and let's get started. Okay, what I'm going to do under here is I'm going to add a bit of shadow right under this line. That way it looks like the metal is on top of the wood and it's not just flat texture on flat texture. So, there we go. And all you need is just a little bit of a gradient. Hold your shift key down, that'll keep it nice and straight. And there we go. See? Now I'm going to go back here, select that, darken up this edge just a little bit. And a little bit of blur. And knock it down a bit. And then maybe a little blur here. Oops, wrong one. My bad. And there we go. And we're just going to duplicate this on the bottom. That way it has a nice symmetry and it gives a little more detail and architecture to the chair that we're working on. So we're just going to duplicate it, edit transform, flip it vertical, and just drag it all the way down. You know, since we know that these are going to be top and bottoms, we can add a little bit more shadow to the ends here. Oops, let me touch that down just a tiny bit more. Okay. Just to kind of fully blend it in, we're going to add a little bit more shadow right there. And we're still holding down our shift key. And right there. And filter, blur. And, I don't know, maybe we want to add a little bit more shadow just to get a little more depth. And maybe a little highlight in the middle. Use that. And give this a good blur. That way it's nice and smooth. There we go. Soft light. And look at there. See the difference? Now I'm going to reduce that a bit because it's a little bit much. Okay, so we're ready to add it to our chair. And board, shadow, metal. Make that a little bit shorter. If you can't tell, my process is usually trial and error a lot. So, there it is. And see, there we go. We've got a little bit more detail on the edges there. And I would have done it in sections on here, but except for the way it wraps on the chair, so it just wouldn't have worked. But now we've got our chair. Okay, so one other thing we're going to do, and I'm going to talk about while we finish getting our shading done. A lot of people you'll see when they do opacities, they do it on either a white or a black background, which is fine when you're making it. But the problem is when you put in your opacity, it creates more of a halo, I guess you could say, or a white or black outline around it. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we have a consistent color underneath. That way when you go to do the opacity, it's not going to show up with that little white line. So sit back and watch this. thing I want to bring up is when you're doing opacities, one of the easiest things to do is to, instead of painting over it like you would like white there, do a color overlay because that makes it so much more precise. And I'm not wearing my glasses, so where the heck is it? There it is. Okay, so we're gonna go color overlay, white reveals, and black conceals. So here's our opacity. And this is a really good trick, especially when you're doing fine things like grass leaves or, flower petals, things like that. That way you get the precise edges instead of, like accidentally screwing up with the brush or whatever. So, and so look at there. We got table legs or couch legs or legs. But you see, there's no halo, and that's a big issue. And you don't always have to check blending mode either. But see, let me go back and show you what I mean here. Because go white, hide the color effects, and we're going to pretend like this is our texture. And we're going to do that and save it. Because so many people do this and save it with the white background. And if we go back in and do that with the white texture, you see that white halo right there? And I don't know, maybe it's just perfectionist or slightly OCD or what, but it annoys the shit out of me. Oops. Can I say that on YouTube? The shoot. I said shoot. So here we go. And we're going to replace it with the correct texture. And look at there. I hate it when it does that, but still. We've got nice clean edges, and that is really important, especially when you're working with a darker room like this one. So there we go. Okay. Okay, so there we have our couch, and we're gonna go ahead and go with that because I kind of like it. I don't know about you guys. If you do, comment, let me know. If you got any ideas, let me know. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. I'll try to help. Sometimes I forget and go off in my own little world. What we're going to do is we're going to add the meshes to the room so I can get an idea of how everything's looking. And that way we can decide what meshes we want to add and move on, to new things and not, make too much for the room, but make enough for the room, if that makes sense. And make sure it all kind of fits together cohesively. And oh, there's a butterfly. Pretty butterfly. Okay, so we're good there. And now we're going to need a rug because that's just going to be necessary. But I like these little small rooms because they're fun to decorate, especially this one because you can do so much with it. It can be springtime or autumn or winter or just do all kinds of things. That little window there, Jake did a good job on that mesh for Mom because he's awesome. That would be Jake Envy Meshes making that mesh for Mom. Oops, there goes my eyebrows. My bad. Okay. Um, one thing I get a lot of comments on is my hair. People ask me who makes my hair, and that would be Little Miss Sienna. And she does a great job. So if you like that, then go check out her shop because she's got a bunch of great colors. And she also does hands and nails and toes and this shirt. Look at this shirt. Isn't that cute? I like that. And she did my hands too. I don't know if you can see the nails. Zoom in. Yep. See? There's C's nails. She did a really great job. So, go check out her shop too. So, yeah. Okay, so here we are back in the whatchamadoodle editor. But we're going to another side table in Mom's account, Little Fat Bird. And I'm going to hide my little gremlin because it's a little gremlin. But anyway, one thing I don't really want to add the rug. It's there if you want it, or you could even do a shadow right there if you wanted to. But we're going to hide that because I don't really want it. And it's running slow today. Sorry, guys. But I'm just gonna go ahead and get this started and going, and you can just sit back and watch. I may speed up the video, and I may break in, who knows. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, let's get going. Okay, so I've decided we need some kind of strap on this thing that I'm working on. And texture 29 and 28 here both have room for that. So what I'm gonna do is I've got my PSD set up, and I've got my guides here so I have everything centered. And the rule of three grids that you can set up in Photoshop is great because, I can see, I'm going to have my strap looking like that. So I've got these little bitty lines right here that help me. And, let's see, oh yeah, you can see here and here I've got these little elements already pre-done, and that is from my Selfie store. I've got, a few things. A lot of it's stock from when I was on DeviantArt, and I still am there, sort of. But here's those textures or wrinkles I was talking about. There's not many left for that. I think there's 3 sales left for that. But anyway, right now I'm working off of this one here. There's 50 things you can use, and there's 5 sales left on that. And my selfie is Artistic Fairy, so you can go right here if you want to get any of these textures. This one's a one-time only sale too, by the way, so when somebody buys that, it's gone. That's free. You can use that. I gave that to the public domain, so I don't even care how you use that one. Anyway, so back to the topic at hand. We're going to create a little thingy right here, like a little strap thing, and I'm going to do that using those design elements that I mentioned. And so we've kind of got our buckle set up, which is already in the pack. And I'm going to go ahead and create the width of the thing that I want to use. And new layer, and I'm going to steal the color from the wood. We're going to do that, and I'm not going to do a true leather layer because I'm too lazy for that, let's be honest. We're going to do, I've got this cloth pattern that I like to use. Desaturate, and soft light. Nope, maybe not that. There. Okay, soft light works. Yeah. Okay. One more time. I'm going to duplicate this layer. And this is how you can kind of fake out leather, just for the record. Um, Go here to noise, add noise, and that'll work. I mean, it doesn't have to be huge because that's really freaking bright. Just something kind of grainy that works. Now, I'm going to blur. Not that much. But see how it kind of creates that leathery look, kind of dapple look there? Do that. And I'm going to desaturate that too because I don't need a duplicate of the color. And soft light again. Nope. Overlay. Nope. Okay, we're going to go from the beginning. I make noises to myself just for the record, so sorry. But, you know, you get what you get when you get me. That'll work. Reduce the opacity a little bit. That way it's just not in your face noisy. And there. So, kind of got a fake leather looking thing going on. Now we're going to go into the shading. And we just need black for that. Gradient. And I know there's like proper ways to do leather and people have their own ways, but when it's a small element like this, it's fine. You don't need fancy. So, as long as you get the intent across. Because honestly, I'm not real. There are a lot of people that are really super strict about how you have to do certain things a certain way, and I'm not that person. And if you find a way that works for you, cool. If I can help you find a way that works, that's awesome. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, you're doing it wrong and you've got to do it this way. So, oh my God. But no, not cool. So just do whatever makes you happy. And if you like it, then cool. And your styles and methods will change over time. And don't let anybody make you feel bad about the way you do something. Because that's just bitchy. And that is your bitchy ace tip of the day. So, anywho, we're going to duplicate this and go underneath, edit, transform, flip vertical, and see, there we go. And we're going to do this one more time. Bring this up on the inside. That way it looks like it's kind of doing its thing there. And you get the whole lift of the leather-ish, whatever you want to call it, cloth, I don't care. So there we go. And I'm going to add a little bit of light right here in the middle. So it looks like it's kind of raised up. Right. Oh wait, we need that gradient. Oh shoot, I almost said a bad word. There we go. We got to reselect that layer because we don't want it going all across the canvas. We just need it right there. So. But seriously, anyway, back on my little bitchy ace tip of the day thing. I hate it when people try to make you feel like you're not good enough or you're doing things wrong and you're just learning or whatever. Those people can shove it because everybody has their own learning speed, their own learning styles, and they do things differently. And really, in Photoshop, unless you're really screwing it up, there's really no wrong way to do something. As long as you're getting the effect you want, then who cares? You get it done. So, anywho, okay, back on that. And furthermore, okay, this whole I'm so much better because I'm a pro and like, oh my God, guess what? You're not. If you're treating people like crap, you're not better. And people have different styles of learning, different paces of learning, and as long as they're trying and trying to do the right thing the way they want to do it, then that's all that matters. And people, there are no bad artists. There's people in different stages of learning, and you'll hear me say that a lot because it's really true. And just people that sit there and talk down to others because they're not, in that stage of, well, I've been doing this for 10 years and, I'm so much better than everybody. Well, bull crap. You're not. Your attitude is everything. So, how you treat people, that's what matters. And, okay, back off the rant. I'm going back to this little square thingy that I made in the elements, design elements thing, and I'm going to snitch it, like snitch this little piece here, and I'm going to rotate it up, and look at that. Okay, so we got that, and I'm going to go down here, clip off this part because I don't really need it. And hey, look, we sort of got a buckle going on. And if it's wrong, guess what? I don't care because it looks fine and it's like not the biggest part of the element anyway. Um, okay, yeah. Apparently I'm a little mouthy today. I'll apologize ahead of time. Um, that happens when I've been working for a while. But anywho, so we're gonna do that. Soft light. Soft light's really good for shading stuff, just so you know, especially on IMVU or MVU or however the hell you say it, because I don't care. It's just something you say. And, there we go. um, it probably is wrong, but who cares? It works. And let's go in, because really, okay, are you going to notice that way out here in the room? Oh, the buckle's wrong? No. You're going to be like, oh, hey, look, there's a box. So, anywho, back to this. We're going to do that. And I was thinking about adding a couple of brads to it because I made these, and those are in the design elements pack too. And it just kind of gives it a nice little thingy look to it, like a finished look. And I'm going to do that, make it a little smaller. Filter, sharpen, unsharp mask. This thing is a great setup right here. Amount 32, radius 3, threshold 12. It helps sharpen things without over sharpening it. So, especially when you're resizing things down, that helps a lot. And that way it doesn't look too sharp or not sharp enough. And it just kind of takes care of it without being too much. Like some people's attitudes. Okay, sorry. um, okay, make sure those are centered. There we go. And now I'm going to add some little shadows underneath here just because I'm me and I like to do stuff like that. But if you don't want to, you don't have to because I'm not going to judge. Um, sorry, mouthy again. Um, but seriously, okay, people that do that to people, it's just not cool. And the whole creator community, I mean, really, get over yourselves. And I mean that with all the love I can because there are some really cool people in the creator community and I love them a bunch. But there are some people out there that are just, oh my gosh, you want to high five them in the face with a chair. Because really, I mean, there is no need for all that arrogance, especially when some of them aren't as great as they claim to or claim to be. But anyway, okay. Carrying on. Sorry. And look at that. Okay, what, like 5 minutes here while I've been babbling, and now we've got a buckle. So remember what it said about your opacities? You want to use that same similar dark tone to. Sorry, I got a little bit of a cold now. But anyway, that way you don't get that weird clippage going on. And that way you got your texture set up. And No halo for me because I know how to put the undercolor under the main texture. And we're going to save that as leather strap. And if you don't think it's leather, I don't really care because it's leather to me. Now we're going to go back and make our opacity. I could do the color overlay thing, but since I've got all these layers, I'm just going to go up to the top and do the other way. Because, like I said, there's no right or wrong way to do it as long as you're getting stuff done. So, anyway, and there's our opacity. So, to double check and make sure. Puppy power. No, not really. Okay, so we've got our table. It's done. It looks good. Um, and I don't care if my buckle's wrong. Y'all just, there you go. You got a buckle. If you want to flip it upside down, knock yourselves out. So we're going to upload. And here's the thing. We get people going, oh my God, it's too expensive. Well, guess what? It is expensive, and it's an investment for us too. And look here, we got the derivation fee, whatever, where you derive it, the fee. Uh, and that's 600 credits, and that's, it's not bad, especially for furniture. That's not bad at all. Because, got Little Fat Bird, her markup is 627, which, yeah, whatever, that's about average. So it's not bad. And, there's a fee before that she had to pay to be able to submit it. And so here's the markup. This part goes to IMVU, IMVU, whatever, those people. But they get 60 credits here. And you just, when you add in, because I'm not even adding in much of a markup here, but when you add in your markup, it changes. IMVUs or MVUs goes up. So however much you mark yours up, they're going to increase their markup too. Which is, but whatever, business is business. And, especially when you get into these fees that you have to pay to submit, and it goes into the cost, it's just, it adds up. And, when you spend 8 hours working on a stinking room bundle and then somebody goes, oh my God, it's too expensive. Well, guess what? You're paying for the work that we do, and all of the fees that we have to pay. It's just like any consumer product. You have to pay for the marketing that people do. You have to pay for the shipping and the storage and the warehouse fees and all of that crap that goes into getting a product from the factory to the store where you buy it. So it's not much different. It's just digital. But anyway, we're gonna name this thing now. And so I don't know. It drives me nuts. And when we're talking like 50 credits, that's like 2 cents. That is 2 cents, real cents. But oh my God, it's too expensive. So bite me. Anyway, okay. And keywording, especially when you're submitting a product, is really important. You get all those keywords in that you need. And some people don't keyword at all, but really, that's how they find your product because you've got the tags that are in the title, which help, which is good. And then you have all these other keywords that, when people are searching in the shop, especially in the client shop, but you need to be downloading. Oh, please don't keep just using the app because you're missing out on so much on the client. But anyway, that's another one. Keywording is really important. It's important to use all 12 keywords. Don't just use one or two. But you just add a whole bunch of, things that are relevant to your product. Do not tag developers because they're never going to see your things. It's just rude. And using developers' names for keywords is kind of tacky and shady, and people aren't going to respect you in the creator community. I mean, there's plenty of infighting anyway, so you might as well add that on top of it. But yeah, just add things that are relevant to your product. I mean, you can put your own name in there, but yeah, don't go naming it Whims and Aislinn and Perla and all that, and just use your own damn keywords. It's not that difficult. Anyway, another bitchy ace tip of the day. We're on a roll. So, anyway, and here we go 20 dev tokens. That would be my normal 200 credit submission fee that I have to pay to submit the product. And this right here is another fee that I have to pay to submit the product. So, anyway, what you're paying is this derivation fee that you see here, plus IMVU's markup, MVU, whatever, and then my little piddly markup right here, and that's what brings the total up to 715. And still, not a whole lot of when you're talking about real money. So it's not too expensive. Like, oh my god. So anyway, sorry, we're gonna submit that, and I'm gonna quit bitching. But so we've got that going. And close that out. Don't really need it. I was just showing you what I was using. And then we're going to move on to the next product. So hang on. You can see a lot of my effort is trial and error. That's kind of my main thing because I'll do something, I'll mess it up, and I'll fix it. And I mean, it works. That's what works for me. And if that works for you, good. And if it doesn't, that's cool too. Just do whatever makes you happy and don't let people make you feel bad for doing things your way. I think that's it. Wow, I think I got all of it. Okay, but anyway, just, I don't know. There's something with our creator community lately. It's just been one giant squawking fest after the next. And damn, y'all, just chill. Everybody thinks people are copying, and everybody thinks somebody said something, and just, I don't know. It's ridiculous. I mean, y'all, most of them are grown ass people, and they do not need to be acting like little children. And that's my opinion on it. And I've had people say, "Well, I heard so and so said you said this about me." And well, you know what? If I have a problem with you, I'm gonna let you know directly. And if I haven't said anything directly, then I probably don't have a problem with you. But I don't know. God forbid logic is involved anywhere. Anyway, that's just me. You can take it, leave it, love it, not. I don't know. That's just how I am. But anyway, okay, we're going back to another bitchy ace tip of the day because people, I swear, they're just like I was saying, constantly bitching, constantly, so and so said such and such, and I think some of them do it so they look like they're the hero, and they're saying things that somebody has said, or especially like taking something out of context and saying, "Oh, well, such and such said this," and that way they look like the hero, but they're really not. They're just a dick that's starting trouble. But that's my opinion. And like I said, I promise you, if I have an issue with you, I will let you know personally. And if I haven't, I don't have an issue with you. So there's that. And I don't know. I just, why can't people be nice to each other? You know, it's not that hard. And I don't know. Maybe it is hard for some people because they're not happy. Maybe that's what it is. And they feel like they're going to get ahead and, get the attention they want or get, I don't know, whatever the hell they think they're going to get if they do that and throw somebody else under the bus, and that's not cool. The way you treat people shows more about you than more about the person you're talking about. But that's just how I was raised, because my mama, little fat bird, would not be having any of that. But anyway, back onto my rant. I got distracted. But start, I don't know, people just need to start treating each other with some common freaking decency. Not that hard. And I don't know, we're stronger together as a community. And it seems like people would rather be competitive and petty and crappy to each other than stick together. And I don't know. It baffles me. I don't get it. Because I don't feel like I'm in competition with any of you guys. And it's not because I think I'm better or whatever. It's just, I do my thing. You do your thing. And that's cool. We all have a common interest of creating. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just an odd duck. Bill and Ted said, be excellent to each other. Because that's the only way we're going to get ahead. And letting yourself get drawn into these petty little things is just not going to help anybody involved. It's just going to make everybody miserable. And the way people treat each other, maybe it'll change someday. Probably not. But you can always hope. Maybe. Okay, we're done. There we go. Okay, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Sorry it's been really long. And it's not really been much of a tutorial, more as a process, but anytime you have questions, just shoot me a message, then I'll be more than happy to answer it. And, hell, maybe if I have time, I'll walk you through something. You never know. But just be cool to each other. Don't be a jerk. And yeah, have a great night. And I will catch you later. Bye.